All right, so that is really the situation right now as it is in the country. Remember that ruling yesterday by the Supreme Court really caused a stir in the country. On one hand, quite a number of people were happy, and on the other, quite a number of people disagreed with that ruling. All right, and I want us to have a discussion here in studio. Remember, like I promised, we'll be speaking to Opiyo Wandayi, who's the Ugunja Member of Parliament. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Betty.
I would really want to hear what you have to say about the ruling yesterday. But before that, Honorable Caleb Kositani, who's the Member of Parliament for Soy constituency. Thank you for your time too.
Thank you.
All right, let me start with you, sir. What is, I know NASA was not party to the petition this time round, but really, what is your thoughts about that ruling yesterday?
Betty, before I come to making a comment about the court ruling, let me say that the country is in a very difficult situation. And the last few days, specifically from the Friday the 17th of this month, we have lost a lot of people through actions by the police and police-backed militia. Right from the day we went to receive our president, Raila Amolo Odinga, from the airport on Friday, up to now, we have lost close to 50 people in Nairobi alone. And
can you confirm that?
I'm saying close to, because there are accounts. Personally, I've lost my own nephew, who was killed on that Friday evening by police, Kamungiki militia. It's therefore unfortunate that we should be focusing more on the Supreme Court judgment and forgetting a very critical issue, which in actual sense amounts to ethnic cleansing. Because out of these people who have died in the last few days, about 95% of them are from the Luo ethnic group. If that is not ethnic cleansing, then I don't know what it is. But that is a story for another day.
No, we will actually be discussing it in a few minutes.
I'm happy we shall discuss it.
Yeah.
Yes, but what I have to say about it is that whoever has done it, or whoever has actually caused it to happen, must remember that regardless of whatever position he or she occupies presently, he will be held to account in the fullness of time. Secondly, Betty, as is widely known, we as the National Resistance Movement did not participate in the Supreme Court case. We were not a party to the Supreme Court matter, and therefore we were not concerned with the proceedings and ultimately not concerned at all with the judgment that was rendered yesterday. For us, we are where we were on the date that same Supreme Court annulled the fraudulent elections of the 8th of August. We have not moved an inch as a country. And therefore, we don't recognize all those shenanigans. They remain shenanigans, and we shall not give them any due attention.
All right.
Yes.
Coming to you, Honorable Kositani, I mean, after the ruling that was made yesterday, quite a number of people said that it's actually the start of a very long journey for this country, that actually this is the time that the work begins, that this is not the final nail on the coffin, that still all is not well, even with the Supreme Court upholding the re-election of Uhuru Kenyatta. What is your take?
Well, you see, thanks, Betty, for having us here at this show. I think we need to know that Kenya is a country that is governed by the rule of law. Whatever events we have gone through as a country in the past 4 months have all been within the confines of our constitution. So the process that we went through after the 26th of October election and the victory of President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto was annulled was a process that is enshrined in our constitution. And even though we didn't agree with the ruling of the judges then at the Supreme Court, we complied because they were within their rights to make their ruling, and we were within the boundaries of the law, and we had to respect the Constitution. And we went back to the people. Of course, NASA decided that they were going to boycott the elections for their own reasons, and they did so. But we went for elections on the 26th. We emerged victorious with an overwhelming majority. despite all the intimidation and the violence that we saw, unnecessary violence, trying to prevent people from going to exercise their sovereign right. But all that is now water under the bridge. We have a president, duly elected, confirmed by the same Supreme Court, the same judges, who said that the previous election on the 8th of October was not right. They have said this was, and it was a unanimous decision. So we are ready for the swearing in of the president next Tuesday, and then Kenya will move forward. As we say in Jubilee, the slice of bread that we have has 47 slices. Mm-hmm. The slice of bread we have has 47 slices to represent each county. So everybody is included in the government. Every county will get their share of revenue that is due to them. And it's upon them now to govern and serve the people of Kenya. Right. We are done. I think the political period now is over. Let us now build Kenya. Anybody else who wants to run for president, they're all focused on 2022. We as Jubilee, we have our candidate for 2022. Let them come up with their candidate early enough. Let them not delay like they did last time.
But even before we come to 2022, I mean, is it that easy to move forward? To just say, let's just forget everything and move forward, considering the issues that are underlying and simmering?
It is very easy. We have become reasonable. It's very easy.
You know, listening to my friend, Caleb Kositai, the Honorable, I'm amazed. You know, politics has just begun. You can't say that the politics has now ended. Mm-hmm. It has just begun. And in the next couple of days, we'll be seeing a lot from our side. But what is important is that you cannot claim, on the one hand, that the country is governed by a rule of law. Yet, while on the other hand, you are basically sanctioning a gangster state. What we saw on Friday, in a case where police officers, very senior police officers, one of them heads the Central Police, I think, Division, taking stones and throwing it at our vehicles, at smashing our vehicles. Then you want to tell us that we are governed by the rule of law. You must be kidding yourself. So what we are saying is that we have just begun, and we haven't seen yet, because we cannot allow this country to be auctioned or to be held at ransom by people who are basically looking at their own selfish interests. This country belongs to 45 or so million Kenyans. And this feeling of entitlement by a section of the country is what is finally going to bring this country down. And we must put pay to it, that there is nobody who has got a higher claim to this country than any other person. So we are going to say that whatever has happened, has happened. And in fact, Jubilee does not need to wait for 7 days or so to swear in their president. They can go ahead and swear in Uhuru Kenyatta even today, for all we care.
All right.
Yes.
All right. We'll continue the conversation in a few moments, but we're taking a short commercial break. We also want to hear your thoughts on this issue, really. It still feels like we're in a political season. Are we? What do you feel about this season that we're in? Also looking forward to what NASA has said that in 7 days they will be making a major announcement, the climax